How do you know if you're really helping others? Like, we can think that if we just offer help that it's actually going to be helpful. Maybe, maybe not. So I'd like to investigate that question in the context of an experience I had with a friend climbing at the Tennessee Wall near Chattanooga on a climb called Cakewalk. This one right here, you can see there's a little bitty roof about halfway up, and that's where the crux is, just above that. So my friend Joey was leading. He climbed up to that roof and struggled in the crux several times, climbing and falling, and was just not making progress, maybe 3-4 times. So here we are. We're in a relationship. I'm the belayer, he's the climber, he's struggling, and I say, Joey, I can lead it if you want me to. And Joey says, okay, now lower him down, and then I lead it. He follows without falling, and we rappel back down to the ground for our next climb. Well, a moment after we got down, Joey said, you know, I think I could have done it if you'd let me struggle just a little bit longer. And that kind of surprised me or shocked me because I thought I was doing something really helpful, but he was framing it or making me aware that I kind of took a learning opportunity away from him. So we can look at what was going on here in a context two different ways. One is how in relationship we can work in kind of codependent ways. So for example, Joey was playing the victim. You know, he need to be rescued from the stress. Take that stress away. We don't want to deal with the stress, want to avoid it. And I was playing kind of the helpful hero, wanting to rescue him from the stress, kind of take that away. And in the long term, that's not helpful because we're both feeding into these roles that work perfectly together in this codependent way. It doesn't allow Joey enough time to actually struggle and learn. And by me being impatient, I'm not allowing him enough time to struggle and learn. I'm kind of pulling him out of the learning situation, diminishing his ability to stay engaged and learn. So, not the best way to interact in a relationship. So a better way, one that I call helpful helping, is more long-term related. So it's interdependent helping. This is where we move beyond these roles of victim and hero, and we pay attention to the struggle itself. You know, pay attention to what's going on in the struggle itself to find ways to support each other. So instead of Joey playing the victim, he notices how much stress is in the situation, and if it's too much, he looks for ways to diminish that, and then process it. You know, if you diminish the stress, you're going to be more likely to be able to process it so he can learn. And for me, instead of playing this helpful hero, I'm also looking into the situation and the struggle that Joey's in. I'm noticing how much stress level there is. I can communicate with him. And if it's too much stress, I can make suggestions about diminishing the stress level. Not withdrawing him from it, but finding ways to diminish it. Like maybe I could suggest, well, why don't you hang on to gear instead of just getting right back onto the rock, you know, for your next go. Or maybe hanging on to gear and placing another piece like on aid so that his next fall will be a little shorter. Things like that. I can make suggestions that diminish the stress level so that he's able to stay engaged and process himself through that situation so he can learn. So we're communicating, we're paying attention to the situation itself, the struggle itself, so that we can be tuned into kind of where the edge of Joey's comfort zone is. and make sure he's stretching into his stress zone, but in ways that are appropriate for his learning process. We can communicate together about what that looks like. That's the lesson. You can go to warriorsway.com, check out the full text and audio. Also, check out our books and courses, and reach out to us with your mental training needs. We'd love to work with you. Thank you.